This weekend sees us arrive in Shanghai for the Chinese Grand Prix. First up is today's practice session.
Alright everybody, welcome back to another episode of My Gaming Diary on the Rounding Off Infinity YouTube gaming channel. My name is Agascles Stamus,
Jump in the car for free practice.
member of Casual Adult Gamers, and these are the chronicles of my life as a gamer. So, if you didn't see it during my walkover, I am starting to get some posters up in the room. You can see my Do Not Disturb Gamer at Work poster on the wall there. So I know one of the things that I need to be working on in the kickoff to the fall season is faster time from the startup of my video and the intro spool to actually playing the game. I tried to get things moving along while I had some other logistics things to do. So hopefully you didn't have to wait too long. So we will go ahead and run the track acclimatization program again. I'm going to leave car tunings the same. That seems to be working out pretty decently for me. I am fresh off my seventh place finish at Bahrain, so I'm hoping to get more of the same here. The equipment setup today. So mainly, unfortunately, I don't seek to really score very high on the acclimatization program. That doing well on that seems to still elude me. Mainly what I'm actually doing now is, it's a really tight turn. Just trying to get accustomed to the track itself, so can hopefully make a decent run. So I'm slowly but surely learning this game and figuring out the difference in the way it handles as opposed to previous iterations of Formula One. That's really weird that secondary turn entrance was open like that. So anyway, this is about my third or fourth session in F1 2016. I'm really enjoying the game now that I've finally kind of figured out at least car settings and controller settings. Amping up the steering linearity and also increasing the steering saturation. This looks like it's going to be a particularly tough track for me to master, so I'm not sure that any of these turns are really turns you can enter at full throttle or exit at full throttle. Am I on the DRS? No. Really low speed turn there. So, equipment setup today. For streaming, I'm using I am doing a video capture, so I'm not streaming, so that is allowing me to use the Logitech C920 webcam, despite the fact that this is the PC that's on the opposite side of the room from the streaming PC. Really don't even like running the acclimatization program because I feel like it monkeys me up more and really getting an understanding of the track. We'll drive it for now. Okay, so that's good to know. You're definitely supposed to take that left side entrance. Turns ridiculously tight there. So like I said, I've got the Logitech C920 webcam hooked up. I'm using the Samsung Go mic for my in-game commentary. And now I'm starting to get a slightly better feel for the track. Yeah, you're going to have to take speed off way earlier in that turn. So it feels like a really, really low speed track. Yeah, another place where you really have to watch how long you hold the full throttle. Oh, that's really weird, like I'm not getting the blasted. So I'm not getting the commentary. So somewhere I've got an audio cable loose somewhere. So, see, I don't understand. Way wide. So this is what frustrates me about the acclimatization program. Like, now of course the other possibility is that the voice commentary, the in-game voice commentary, not my commentary, could be that it's carrying over to the streaming PC just fine, but I'm not getting it in my headphones. Weird. That gate is all the way high side like that. So, Logitech C920 webcam, the Samsung Go mic for in-game commentary. And of course I'm using the Elgato HD60, so I've again got the kind of crazy setup for audio since this machine does not have a
This is the final lap of the program.
This machine does not have a way to grab the audio off the monitor and send everything out over HDMI. So I've got video going from the Lenovo to the Acer 23-inch monitor over HDMI, but I'm sending audio out of the headphone port on the Y50. Yeah, I thought audio sounded a tad bit tinny when I was listening to the intro music. So it comes off the Y50 analog output, and then I immediately send it to a splitter cable. I piggyback another RCA splitter off the back to send it to my Sennheiser Urbanite headphones. I'm very happy I'm wearing those this week. Last week I was using the Logitech G330s as headphones. And the truth is the Logitech G330 is a fine headset, but it's not the best set of headphones that I have. The Urbanites are much better in terms of audio quality. Just that. Gutierrez. I already missed my pit opportunity. I think I did. Now, that is the best that I've scored.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
That is the best that I've scored on a acclimatization program, so I don't want to complain too much. I do really love what they've done with the skyline here. I'm assuming this is Shanghai. I should also mention I'm using the Xbox 360 controller for PC for controlling my FW3 today. Again, obviously I am interested in. Come on.
You need to pit within the next 2 laps. Box this lap, please.
I am going to be interested in hooking up the wheel and pedals to this eventually, but I really do not understand. Hopefully this is pit lane up here. That's why it's a super funky entrance. But the workstation that I have the Y50 situated on is not conducive to hooking up a wheel and pedals. It's really just not stabilized for that type of weight and force to be applied to it. So unfortunately, you're probably going to get some squelching potentially. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with my in-game audio. I need to check and see if that's corrected the problem. See if there's any way for me to force some audio commentary. I'd really like to get that fixed before I go too much further.
Your top 3 again are Hamilton, Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen. Thank you for joining us for free practice today. We'll be back with
Yeah, it sounds like
very shortly.
commentary's going through, but it is not getting to me. All my connections on this end look fine. Yeah, it seems like I lose a track when I push it all the way in. I do not know or understand why analog connections work like this. Might just be a vote for Apple getting rid of the headphone connection and making it all digital. I hate to pull any other cables, because pulling other cables means that I will be monkeying with the volume going over to the game capture. So I think the fact that I can hear her voicemail means I've got the in-game voice tracks going. I hope that's what that means. So what I've done is I've got the headphones like partially plugged in.
We'd like to welcome you.
Yep, there we go.
The world you join us today for this F1 qualifying session here in Shanghai, China. When it comes to getting lap time out of this circuit, it's traditionally been about maximizing top speed. Do you simply remove as much downforce as possible, hang on into the corners and max out down the straights?
Top speed is a key factor for this circuit. Even if you can achieve the same lap time as someone running less wing than you, chances are you'll find overtaking difficult if you have too much drag.
So this is going to be interesting. So they got me on the super softs this time. Now, of course, the way I have this car tuned, I have it tuned to maximize turn-in, right? Because I really like oversteer. What they're basically saying is the turns here are so tight that, as I'm seeing there, that you basically have no chance of doing well in the turn. So you may as well just maximize on straightaway speed. So what I'm going to do to try and compensate is I'm going to go with a very unusual and slightly risky style of being kind of driving two pedal, right? So I'm going to allow myself to be both on the throttle and on the accelerator sometimes at the same time. Try and twist the car around in the turns. It looks like I'm down in my sectors, but you know I never qualify that well anyway. So it's not like I've got that much to lose. Rosenberg is the tops. Now, multi-tapping the brake worked well in Bahrain. Nope, horrible.
It's a bit disappointing, but we just need to push hard in a race and we can still win something.
That's proving to be very true.
Race tomorrow. But before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top three.
Where's Massa? Massa's in 7th.
Hamilton and Kimi Raikkonen. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted
Yeah, so it is Shanghai.
tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
So, so the one thing is not to get demoralized at poor qualifying, because you can still do good in a race, even if you don't qualify well. But I guess where it's disappointing in terms of tuning of the game and game balance, it makes it feel like the qualifying is not a well-balanced part of the game, and that it doesn't accurately reflect how people are going to perform on the track during the actual race.
Hey, how are you? I have some information on the race goals you should keep in
So I'm going to have to step away and go deal with one of the kids.
Hard work, ingenuity and ambition. So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session.
Rain.
Starting grid. Nico Rosberg will start his...
Come on. And hopefully it'll hold there. Alright, so thankfully that held up the game from proceeding to lights up. I do need to decide if I want to go on a 1 or 2 stopper strategy. I've had the most success with the 1 stopper, and that high tire management. Was that a 3-stop strategy? No, it's 2-stop. Okay. And so it does look like it's supposed to get drier as the day goes on. Okay, start the race. Man. What has not been good at all has been my ability to manage my brakes. Still into position 19 out of turn 1 is not bad at all. 16. Blast it. I thought I was going to be able to get around the Renault on the outside there. So, P16 is not bad. My rival Grosjean up front. I really got to watch how squirrely I am in the turns here. No. Close him down, close him down, close him down. I am ahead of you in the turn. Do not get inside of me. Almost threw it a bit too far outside. Come on. Get on it. Oh, sorry. Bit unsportsmanlike there. Worst of all, I didn't really make any headway because of it. Now again, this is another place that kind of makes me feel like the game isn't well balanced and tuned. So what I'll do is I'll get up. Well, I don't know. I feel like I'll move up quickly to a certain degree in the pack, probably to the position that I should have arguably qualified in. But no. Don't fight. There's no reason for you to fight me that close. Go. Now some of these guys are going to be faster than me in the straight, and some of them should be, because they would have tuned their car specifically for that. Whereas I've tuned for the best turn and cornering that I can. Man. I've periodically been able to gain some on Perez, but I cannot shake Palmer. It's only 14 laps here because it's a pretty long track. think it's saying... Is it saying that I've actually got the best time on the track? So I did score fastest lap at Bahrain. Oh, no, go. Whoa! That was uncalled for. I didn't even shimmy off my racing line. He just deliberately drove right into the back of me. I'll try and shoulder Palmer off here. Block the rest of the field off on this turn. That broke the field up a little bit too, so I don't have so many people behind me in a cluster. So I'm happy with my personal run of the track. I'm not happy with how well I'm driving when I'm in the field next to cars. I felt like I drove much better competitively, open wheel to open wheel. And Bahrain, of course, Bahrain was dry. I do have near damage now. You know, there have been other racing games where that's been one of my strengths, is I was just really able to drive a lot better than the AI in the wet. It's not the case here today. Oh, I'm gonna have to flash that back. Well ahead of Palmer now. I think this is where I got way overzealous. And I just couldn't reel it back in with the brakes at all. This is just a really stingy track when it comes to forcing it to give up its speed. I think that's why I lost that last time I was down there in the wet part of the track. Significantly drier up here on the high side.
It's not a perfect situation, but I don't think we have cause to move on to a different tyre yet.
Okay.
Distance to teammate 10.6 seconds.
Crap. Okay, so there I was multi-tapping the brakes. That helped bring me down because I was definitely way too high going into that corner. So I'm definitely out of the points if I do not make... You know, I'm not catching Massa, that's another thing, and then if I don't get down into the single-digit positions, then I'm not going to score points. Now it seems like I'm catching people up a little bit as I burn fuel. The track is also becoming drier, so it may be a matter of I may be better in the dry.
Tyres are shown to be within the optimal temperature range. We're considering switching to an alternate strategy. Do you want to change or stick to plan A? Okay, fitting into medium tyres next.
Blast it. So I think I just figured out how to change strategy. It may be the L3 button. So I was just wailing away on it going into that turn, and actually clicking the L3 was not intentional. Come on, get down.
We're considering switching to an alternate strategy. Do you want to change or stick to plan A?
How do you confirm change?
Okay, copy that.
Great teammates in the pits.
Pitting now. Felipe is in the pits.
You are on Hamilton. You are on the race leader. Go, 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 go. You've got...
The stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now on. Our gap to our teammate is 9.2 seconds.
Come on, I should be ahead of Massa now. Hamilton just breaks. Look at that speed.
It's borderline, but if I were you, I'd come in and change tyres. I'm just not sure what the right ones for the
Bless. Nice. Wait. Oh, come on.
pit in this lap. Remember the speed limit. You'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
Oh, no, I didn't miss the pit. I didn't miss the pit, did I? No, it's the final turn on this. Yeah, I haven't really understood. What's this guy doing? Blasted, Massa was right behind me. See what that says in my positioning. Looks like a Ferrari's coming right behind me, probably Vettel. But it looked like he completely lost it coming in.
An issue with their car. They're going to be slow. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
Now, last race in Bahrain, you did make some positions up after the pit stop. You were definitely better once you changed your racing compound. So, I've got two guys ahead of me now. Blasted. But now it's not a matter of, going from good to better. I really have to catch these three guys up. And maybe more. That's going to cause me to be pushing myself in each turn, which is going to increase my chance for error. No, 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 no. Ah, that glitch has happened before. Really hate that. So there's some weird glitch where when I spin the camera around, it gets stuck in a dorsal view from the side. I do not know what causes that, but it drives me nuts. Don't let him by. Do not. Come on, you shouldn't just be... Ugh. Shouldn't just be able to crush into the backside of the guy in front of you. That really makes me angry. Come on, guys. So this isn't...
0.8 seconds.
Now, the one dynamic that's still here to play with is that some of these cars are going to be on a two-stop strategy. And so you may get another jump by staying out on the track longer. And you're only halfway through the race, so... I guess what bugs me a little bit is, at Bahrain, I felt like there were certain corners which gave me problems at the beginning of the race that I just really started to nail, especially after the pit stop. I don't feel like I've found my groove with any of those corners just yet. We'll see, though. There's still a good amount. That's the one. That's the one that you tend to overshoot the most. And it catches you a bit off guard because the corner you just came out of, or two corners ago, is the one that you tend to worry about overshooting more, and then by the time you get down here, you're too complacent. So a few more changes will be going on in the works here in the next few weeks, or next week. I am going to be building a PC for the first time in oh, come on. That's probably my fault for coming back on track like that. For the first time in quite a few years. So almost all the parts are in. I'm just waiting on the video card. Just waiting on the video card and the optical drive. These are both of the Red Bulls. Really pushing it on these Red Bulls. I do not intend to come out of another corner with them ahead.
Flags ahead. No overtaking through the caution zone. Be careful until you see the greens.
It really makes me angry that I had to give up that overtake. Alright, we're all green. Get back on it. Come on, get back up. Get back up. Feels like this is not going to be. Feels like this is not going to be the one. So better than the way things started at the beginning of the season, but not About the same as Bahrain.
Okay, gap ahead is 4.6 seconds.
And this is what I'm doing now is one thing that I have not been doing the whole race, and that's just not going full throttle so that I can get into a turn and get it out without necessarily wailing away on the brakes.
The car behind has some damage to their front wing. It doesn't look serious.
Okay, hopefully I'm going to see some people pitting in here. Yeah, this really glad that I have the grips on this controller, because this is definitely white knuckle racing all the way through. Really hope Moss is... Oh. Cut that corner a little bit more than I planned. I really hope Moss is on a two-stop strategy. I think that's that corner that I continuously flub. Or maybe this is it. Yep, that's the one. Because you get the first one and then you screw up the second. So I didn't flub it as bad. No, is that Palmer? No, Magnussen, Renault. Those seem to be the guys who give me the most problems. Okay, so I think I've worked some things out on how to take that corner. Still having a really awesome time with this game.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
So like I said, I am going to be building my own piece. Gotta work him from the outside. Okay, nice. Well, and so I guess that's another thing to note is, you know, that even though Formula One, you definitely want to be at the head of the pack and in the race for the championship, the truth of the matter is some of the really great fights and really great racing happens in the middle and the back of the pack, like is going on now with me and Magnussen. So I'm going to be building my own PC here next week. Hopefully I'll be starting, well, hopefully I'll have all the parts in by Wednesday. I may be starting ahead of that. I actually have the parts where I can go ahead and mount the power supply in the case, and the motherboard, CPU, my custom heatsink and fan that I ordered, and the 32 gigabytes of RAM. So I'm going to be building it on a AMD 950 chipset, and I think 960 Southbridge around an AMD FX 6300, I think Vishani Black Edition CPU. So at about half the price of a Core i3, it outperforms a Skylake Core i3, but underperforms a Core i5. So that'll be the CPU I'll be building it around, and then it's going to be, the GPU is going to be a GTX 1070. Which is the number 4 graphics card in the world right now, benchmark-wise. So it should be pretty interesting. It'll be the most powerful PC that I've owned in a while since I stopped building desktops and just went to buying laptops. And this, to me, has been the first time in a while that there's been a warranted performance gap between laptops and what you can achieve with a desktop. you know, at a price differential, right? So if I wanted to buy a 1000 series NVIDIA GPU in a laptop, I would easily be playing close to like $2,000, but I was able to select parts, spec parts for a custom build of a desktop with a budget cap of $880 that will outperform any of my gaming laptops that I have here, and it probably would outperform any gaming laptop that I would buy, even if I bought a $2,000 gaming laptop with a Core i7 CPU. So at least that's my hope. We'll have to see how that goes. It's a little disappointing. It feels like people are not on a two-stop strategy. So I may have completely blown my opportunity to reel in my rivalry a little closer. Well, that's good because I've got 3 laps to go, so I'm running on fumes basically. Just trying to go outside. No. Man, come on. How is that my warning flag? I should have actually replayed that because I lost a position due to that knucklehead. So hopefully I can reel in this 1.4. Again, this is not nearly as exciting as the end of Bahrain where I was... So, it's another thing that I dislike is when I hit them, they seem to... Their car does not seem to get unstable at all. It's my car that winds up going fishtailing around. I have a better run on him here than last time, but I also had to brake harder into that corner. But overall... Well, in another time and place I might have gone back to replay that one for the sake of sportsmanship, but I figure that's exactly what got done to me, so.
We shouldn't see any rain, but if a storm front does appear, I'll let you know.
Finally worked that corner out in the last 2 laps of the race. Well, you know, at least, you know, if I play this as a franchise... Yeah, it's just way too hot. At least if I play this as a franchise, I'm making enough of a mark on these tracks where if I come back around a second season, you know, I'll feel like there's improvement that I can make, you know, not just for the sake of hopelessness, right, but there's actually a margin wherein I can improve on myself. It'll be good for me, but also will be good, you know, in terms of trying to be competitive in this game against the AI.
The gap to teammate is 50.9.
Ugh. That's almost a full minute ahead. I've definitely just not wired it in.
Laps of fuel remaining.
And I think at the end of the day, my head was just not in this race like it should have been. It wasn't just that it was a new track, and I don't think it was because it was beyond my ability. I think I just didn't focus enough today. So that's on me, not on my team or my engineers of the car. Almost wondering if I should replay it or if I should just keep it. Keep it and feel the burn. I think because of that, I'm going to go ahead and restart. Let's see. That is an awful lot of race to have to replay. I'm just going to flashback. I'll go ahead and suck it up. Accept my culpability and coming in the bottom third.
Some information on Vettel. They're speeding up again, so I expect they fix whatever the problem was.
Great.
This is your final lap. Final lap of the race. Our gap to the car in front is 15.7.
It is very interesting that I discovered that it actually changes. It will change strategy off a voice command. So I didn't hear any button tap. I just told him to go ahead and change the strategy or leave it. That is something I will have to keep in mind. And I had actually achieved my team goal to finishing in 12th position. Bitter pill. I think that's fine because I don't think there's any chance for me to come in worse than 17th. At least I didn't before I hit that pad. Ooh, I do have a guy coming up behind. Well, no. It's me, actually.
Okay, we're all a bit gutted with that result, but let's work hard. We'll get it together for the next race.
17th? It's not last.
Brilliant stuff from Mercedes today. That's another historic win. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome.
And here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes then are on top today. So then, it's time to see how this was.
Hamilton, Rosberg, Raikkonen.
It's a good result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further to the top of the table. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Well, after a drive like that, it's got to be Nico Hülkenberg, hasn't it? Very clean, very smooth. Be really pleased with that.
Was my teammate at Force India.
Mercedes have extended their lead at the top of the standings. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today, as they make their way up the standings. That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye.
So I dropped to a
Next time.
Hold on.
I like your
No, don't cross the cable. Hold on.
I like your little picture.
Okay, thank you.
Why is it there?
Hold on. Alright, so that shows me having dropped to 11th. I'm not sure what position I was in before, but Moss is ahead now, so how are we doing constructor-wise? We're still in 4th in the Constructor Championships. That's not horrible. Go ahead and move on to the next round and see what race that's going to be. That's good. I didn't realize you got resource points based on how far you moved up in the field from qualifying, so maybe I'll just continue to allow myself to place 22nd. All of my laps were clean, so that's good. So I definitely earned enough points to, didn't do great in the rivalry, but I did beat him in the fastest in the sector. Lost the rivalry. I'm not sure what impact that has. Again, I have no understanding on why career scores matter, unless it's just for leaderboards. Uh-oh.
Listen, I'm doing what I can, but there's a real risk of your next deal being less than favorable. You need to start impressing the team.
Get out of here. Come on. It's my first season on the team. Huh. That's interesting. So from round to round, you get a chance to tweak the settings, so that's good to know. I didn't realize that.
Hey, our upgrade pace is looking solid right now, but I do think we need to push harder if we want to stay competitive.
Yeah, I agree.
Here's the report.
So we look to be competitive with the two leading teams in the Constructors' Championships. The question is, am I going to look for an R&D upgrade now? I'm going to hold out for a bump to my ignition system. I really need to go to the practice. I'm going to Sochi. It's interesting that your rivalry just starts over.
Here we are, the fascinating Sochi Autodrome in Russia for what is expected to be a compelling race weekend. And it all begins today with practice. Now then, Anthony Davidson, there's been a lot of talk over the last few weeks about track limits. How much is too much when you're cutting corners and running wide? What are your thoughts on this? And do you think we'll be seeing drivers pushing those limits this weekend?
Well, I'd be disappointed if we didn't, frankly. If race control want to clamp down on drivers wandering off the track, then it's up to them to police it. As a driver,
Okay, so
the circuit is
getting a little pushed for time, so... Oh, you know what? I think I screwed that last race up. Because I think what I forgot is that... Yeah, blast it! I completely forgot that your car setups do not load automatically from race to race. You actually need to go in and deliberately select my custom setup.
Before qualifying, let's get our track acclimatization program complete. It'll help us identify any specific problem areas on the circuit.
That's really aggravating. That means I was not running my custom car setup last race, which would account for a lot.
It's under our belt.
Would account for why I wasn't cornering the way I was expecting to. Man, that makes me angry. Alright, well, let's see if it really makes any difference here and prove that was the reason for me being off the pace. I think it definitely did. My braking going to that corner by itself was way too much better than it was in China. Ooh.
What happened? Let me know you're okay.
Sharp corners here in Russia. Feels a little like Dubai. Feels a lot like Dubai, actually. DRS is up. Yeah, now the car feels like it's tuned to my driving style. Which this tuning setup is much more forgiving about me flying into a corner and needing to adjust to tighten up. That responds a lot better to multi-taps on the brakes. I missed the DRS, I think. Maybe give some points for it. Getting a little better about looking out for what the next gate is, not the one necessarily directly in front of me. That's just what's irritating, is still haven't really gotten like, how does it say I was fine on one? I guess maybe the gates, you have to be both on trajectory and at speed, maybe. Yeah, I definitely would have done so much better in China. If I'd been running my custom car setup. No question that was part of the reason for the issues. Bump your wing a bit. Too wide on that one.
We're slow through the following corners. Turn 1, turn 3, turn 5, turn 6, turn 8, turn 15, turn 16, turn 17.
A lot of damage on both wings. So again, this is what's frustrating about the whole acclimatization program. I was up at 205 points. And it's not just cumulative. You actually lose. So as you can see, I missed one gate. I should have been able to regain my footing on the second gate. And the big problem is I don't know why it's saying that I failed those gates even when I drive right through them. Great. Ooh. Alright, let's just go to the next session. Alright, I guess it'll be return to garage. Or, well, you can advance qualifying right there.
Quick look at the classification at the end of the session then. Here are your top three.
At this point, all I really want to get remaining out of the session is I just want to verify that using my custom tuning set up that I actually place better in the Russian Grand Prix, which I hope and believe will be the case. Load times between levels are an issue with this game, and I know that they try and kind of cover it up with a lot of fancy schmancy, but the truth of the matter is just really, really long load times. And I get it, it's a racing game, right, with high-end graphics, so...
Your qualifying goals came up in the board meeting this morning. Here's what to expect.
No, that's not happening. And I'm not going to have 700 resource points for R&D until after the Grand Prix, so no hope of getting a bump.
Sochi, we're about to be joining the action down in the pit lane as the cars get ready to embark.
Alright, so I have my custom car set up. That's good. Oh, come on, it's giving me a red light coming out of a turn. And Racketen is right behind me. What is going on? It's already saying that I'm off the pace. It's just impossible to ever do well qualifying for me here. And when I say here, I mean in this game, regardless of the track. Come on. Are you kidding me? Do I think there's any point in even restarting qualifying? I will restart. At least make one attempt. One thing that's really weird in this game is how like the restart and retry and other stuff is like under different tabs in the menu. Like I wish that was just all under one thing. So super soft. One thing I don't like is how so these close-in walls are dangerous qualifying on this track, as you've seen the last two times around. I just have a tendency, if I push too hard out of the dead zone, to ram the front tires into the wall. It's not good. Come on. I just did a 147.
Okay, that's pretty disappointing, but we can turn it around tomorrow.
Really frustrating.
I just wanted to pass on the team's expectations for this race. Good luck.
So this is one of the games that I'm really looking forward to playing on the new system with the GTX 1070
Lewis Hamilton.
and the 32 gigabytes of RAM. I think should serve it well as also. All right, so I'm going to go with the two-stop strategy here. Okay, so it's the custom car setup. So hope things get better this time. 13 laps around Sochi. Should get a taste for how things are going to be right off the bat. I decided discretion was the better part of the valor there. We're in 12th position. Decided to go ahead and push in that second corner to get it to P10. Got no damage so far. I am definitely faster than some cars in the corner, unlike what I saw at China. Science is right ahead of me, who caused me some problems in China. I don't think he's going to be walking away from me like he did there. Alright, so I got a warning for cutting the corner. Alright, got a little front wing damage. I'm going to accept that. I think what I'm going to see here is, as long as I stay here with this pack, is opportunities to pass cars consecutively through multiple laps, because nobody's really got a super long straightaway to just walk away with a lead. Blasted. Moss is ahead of me, and after I was ahead of him, didn't even realize I was ahead of him. I would have definitely been driving more aggressively had I known. Come on, Felipe. I did not realize that those warnings were actually penalty points. So even though they're only warnings, they still count against you. Definitely not going to be rewarded for clean laps this race, unlike China. No! Come on, Felipe. Well, that was a lot more contact than you would normally expect in Formula One, but it was super competitive. Clearly, two drivers who do not want the other to be the one to get ahead.
Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available.
No. That's complete poo. That's a thing it does where it... Come on!
Pit window is open. The pit window is open.
I'm on a two-stop strategy, and I don't know if I'm supposed to pit in. That was just sheer outbreaking everybody. Good show. Also realized that what I need to do in this super long left-hander is I need to not make it all about brakes. I need to come off throttle as well. And so balancing it, I was able to kind of nurse it through that corner much more smoothly than last few times that I've come into that. So I ardently believe that with this car tuning setup that I'm definitely a better driver and have the better car than Massa, so just gotta believe in that.
Some information on Verstappen. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
No. Okay. No.
Okay, we're ready for you. Box this lap.
What? You want me to pit this lap? Given where I am, that would not be my choice. Is this? It's gotta be a pit lane. Hate that. Now, what they might do.
Exit now.
Nice. They might make that my one stopper.
Okay, you only have to stop once now. One stop left.
I shouldn't have to stop one more time. Now, what enables me to put down faster laps is running competitively with the field. So this is where I'm going to be at my worst, is in this notion of trying to push myself when there's nobody directly ahead of me that I'm trying to overtake. What I have to do is I've got to be in the best position possible when the rest of the field goes into pit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this about catching these guys in front of me. See if that's the way for me to compensate. See if the notion of catching the next group ahead, regardless of how unlikely, makes me think competitively enough. Come on now, catch these guys up. Now they're going directly down the side of you. You actually have... You're actually catching these guys up in front of you, so you just need to continue to push.
They
Alright, get on Felipe. Get on Felipe. You cannot let Felipe come out ahead of you in the pits. He cannot pit ahead of you. He cannot come out ahead of you in the pits. What? There he is, there he is. You've got to get on him. You've got to get ahead of him through this turn. Close him down, cut him off. Well done, well done. Way to come off the throttle when you got too close to that wall.
Conditions still remain dry for a while. We will update you if the outlook changes.
What's funny is it's you and Felipe fighting it out at the back of the pack. Are you kidding me? Well, what I need to do is I need to make sure that I don't get so wrapped up fighting him that I miss my pit.
Okay, gap ahead is 7.5 seconds.
Very difficult for me to tell where to pit. So focused on fighting Felipe off. Kind of surprised that they're telling me to come in and pit.
Some information on Verstappen. It seems they fixed whatever the problem was. They're coming back up to speed. Release, release.
7 laps.
Pit strategy complete. See these tires through to the end now.
I just don't know what everybody else's pit strategy is and how in the world. Alright, just focus on catching people up. Well, left-hander. Got the front wing damaged again. I felt like I had no braking force. It might be because of new tires. G ensures that you don't go off and that you're just steadily catching everybody up. And you're not cornering as well because your tires are not, tire heat's not up yet. Grasha. I feel like that crawl, that loss of frame rate was because a bunch of people just pitted in. I hope that is the case. Won't know until I'm coming back around on the front straight and start passing some of them up. And that is only. It's really hard to pass people in the pit because it's feasible that they could pit and with as slow as you have to go coming around the bend like that, that they could get in and out of the pits before you can get around the full 90 degrees. Still in 22nd position. Starting to lay down faster lap times. Yep, kind of learned to.
Expressing concern over his front wing. Felipe's front wing may be damaged.
Well, that might be good news for me. One way to quickly get my job back is to start beating my teammate. What's up, monkey?
I took my hair out because it got too loose.
Okay, that's great. I'll be done in a little bit. I'm about halfway done. All right, here we go. Oh, no. That's the problem. Lost my rhythm there. After I paused. No.
Gap to go in front is 7.4 seconds.
I'd be really bothered if I come in 22nd in this race. I guess if that happens, it just tells me that there's no point in taking alternate pit strategies and you just need to do a single stop pit strategy every race. I've been accepting the possibility that because other people will need to pit in, that taking a multi-stop pit strategy might actually be worthwhile. But Felipe has complained about his front wing, and I haven't seen him pit except the one time. I wish I wish I could see everybody else's pit strategy and just see if everybody else is just doing a single pit, single stop. And what I've seen so far is that the minor front wing damage indicator really doesn't make that much of a difference. Not scored great lap times overall. You know, when I did well at Bahrain, that was because I laid down really good lap times, including a fastest lap. What would start giving me confidence is if I just heard that some people were pitting in, but because like some of these guys might be on a no-stop strategy. I can accept the rationale that my team decided to.
Teammate is 23.
Come on. I can accept the rationale and the logic that my team decided to do a two-stopper and to make our pits early. Maybe in the belief that I tend to perform better in the second half of the race. That would actually be a pretty sound strategy.
The gap to the car ahead is 10.8 seconds.
So I've lost about 3 seconds. Man, I really don't know what I'll do about I'll be pretty doggone demoralized if I do another 22nd place finish like I did in Australia.
Conditions should remain dry. We will keep you informed of any changes to the weather.
And the real difference here is going to be whether or not people are actually pitting, or if like I'm the only one who's doing the realistic pit strategy. And what I thought I've seen before is that cars, like, nobody's pitting this lap. And I don't know that I heard anybody pit, in the laps before. It's really aggravating if I'm the only person who...
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Right, I mean, you think people would at least be pitting for fuel. But they wouldn't want to run with a fuel load the entire time. Although, admittedly, a lot of these cats are so much faster than me that they can afford to run with a full fuel load. But again, I thought that there was some level of realism that the game engine was injecting into everybody's pit strategy. Well, I am starting to nail some of these sectors down with some great times, but
You're playing ice cold game?
Our gap to the
Daddy,
guy
you
in front
playing
is
ice cold game?
14.7 seconds.
so I've lost even more time.
Daddy, can I watch you?
Again, I'm operating off the belief that the cars are going to pit at some point. I'm just not seeing it happen there.
You're doing a good job and not getting on Dale. I think you're going
Nobody in the pits after that lap? Come on.
No. You're not getting on that. We'll do just
I may just have to start the season over again and just run a single pit strategy the whole way through. 'Cause it doesn't appear that anybody else is... Yeah, it seems like doing a 2-stop pit strategy doesn't do anything but cause you to lose the race, and it doesn't seem like your engineering crew, does anything to compensate for that. I guess I'll just consider this putting down some practice laps at Sochi, so everybody else is pulling away. Really aggravating. And this is actually a pretty decent track too. It feels like just nobody made a pit stop this race.
Okay, gap ahead is 25.5 seconds.
So here's another thing I don't understand is if Perez is out of the race, why am I still listed as 22nd? Right? I should be at a minimum, should be 21st. I guess I technically wouldn't be listed as 21st until I come back around to the and have covered the same track distance that he has.
This is out of the race. He's suffered engine failure. Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags.
Yeah, I think I would actually switch my cockpit view.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
And once you know a track, this might actually be a viable view to drive from, but definitely not while you're trying to figure a track out.
This is your final lap of the race.
Really only able to drive from this perspective because at this point yeah, you kind of know what the turns are. Ooh. Another interesting view. Yeah, I might actually try driving from some different views. See if that helps, particularly when racing wheel to wheel with other cars. I think it helps a little bit in judging your distance to a corner in that flyover view. Just how much track room you have before you're supposed to start a turn in.
Bad luck. It just wasn't our day today.
You think? There's a little more than bad luck. I think it's kind of the bogusness of the.
You can see the drivers coming out, and after this round of the World Championship, here's how things looked in the drivers' table. It wasn't the best.
Alright, so I'm going to go and pop out because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to restart my career. Hopefully that custom car tuning will not get blown away when I restart my career. And just go with a one-stop strategy for all the races. I must feel a little bad because I have invested a lot of time in this career. Alright, let's just go ahead and get out of here. Quick to main menu. Yep. Alright, well thanks a lot everybody for joining in. This has been another entry in my gaming diary on the Rounding Off Infinity YouTube gaming channel. My name is Gascally Stamus, and I am out.